All right, so yeah, so it's actualization of the theoretical ideas, the research findings into teaching and testing. Hence, this session has actually opened us, and maybe for some, reminded us of the tools that we can use in addressing today's disruptive education. And it's all about knowing how to deal with the new normal, and that means creating dependable learning materials and assessment, creating engaging activities that can serve both as evidence of learning, being adaptive with other modes of learning to address logistic challenges, and of course, learner-centered should be adopted as our approach to teaching. So let's now move on to our exciting part, the question and answer. So in this part, Jack, Bom, and Bam will be helping me in reading the questions. Shall we start, Jack?
The first question, how can we engage parents in assisting the student in doing online classes when they are also working?
Well, this question is like, that's what we encounter every day. I will let Sujinat answer because he's a parent and a teacher. So he can have like, the appropriate answer for that.
Yeah, I think it is quite difficult and challenging for parents. My daughter is 2 years old, and we have to submit the assignment to the teacher every day. So I will work with my wife and try to help my daughter to do homework. But the other homework is like very quick, like something like playing with things and show it. But I think for like a formal class like English, mathematics, I think it's very difficult because if the family 3 children in the family and all of them have to study online, how many computers and devices that need in the family? I think it's very difficult. One of my suggestions is like we should like have like a grandparent or like an aunt or an uncle to help. Yeah. Because we should not let the student or let the little kid be with the computer or technology like something like that for such a long time. Yeah.
And one of the things that might help, I need to add up to like Sujinat, is that you should make the learning time flexible, right? So you can have like the rigid time for the schedule. Therefore, the parents could manage their time to assess the learning of the kids if they have like flexible schedule that they can come at their convenient time.
Thank you so much. Shall we have the next question?
All right, the next question is, which platform is suitable for teaching primary and secondary level?
So it depends on what you teach. I cannot have the definite answer, right? Because, there are many platforms nowadays in the COVID-19 time like this. We have like, even from the support from the university, from the institute, or from the school, there are many platforms. So if you use it synchronous or asynchronous tools, or it depends on the objective or the expected outcomes that you would like to obtain from your students. Okay, and for the kids, it might, what should be considered is that, it should be user friendly. It should be user friendly that the parents could help, right? It couldn't be like something complicated or like, more like sophisticated. It won't work. Anyone have, the add up comments to that?
Yeah, I totally agree with Ajahn Pornpimol. Just like what I mentioned earlier in my presentation, we have to look at both the function and also the whether the tool that we are using is user-friendly or not. Yeah, whether it suggests the use that we want or not. We have to choose a tool according to our purpose. Yeah, that's right. And for kids, I know it's really hard. We have to look at our kids, our students, and maybe talk with parents what they can do, whether they have supportive learning environment at home. If not, then we have to adjust. You know, it has to be individualized. We have to talk. Teachers have to talk to parents. We have to know our students and then adjust accordingly. If they don't have a supportive learning environment at home, then we have to find some alternatives like, you know, TV shows, and then have students do homework. You can submit homework by, I don't know, email or snail mail, and then you can have parents help you send them back somehow by email or by snail mail, whatever they are, you know. But you have to have a really good communication with the parents, because the students are still young, right? But if your students are capable, that's wonderful. You can have them use Zoom, because I've seen my friends' kids, they're still young, right? And you know, they use Zoom, talking with teachers interactively. Yeah, so you have to look at your situation. Yeah.
And remember one thing, that you know, the young learners nowadays, they are digital natives.
Oh, yeah.
They're good at it. So, like, you know, any platform, they use a very short time in learning, I'm sure.
Yeah, and you can use authentic materials. You know, I you know, off the top of my head, I can think of Sesame Street, and you know, it might be difficult for some kids, but you know your students, right? You have to choose the materials that are suitable for your students. Some TV shows, some songs, you know, songs for kids. There are millions of them online. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Ajan. Let's have the next question.
Your answer will benefit the student from this question. Although there are a lot of tools available for teaching and learning, how do you suggest we strategize instruction, especially for the student who have limited access to the internet?
Yes, that's what I mentioned before, that, you know, the learning, actually what we are doing now is not totally online learning. What some call this remote learning using online and the distance learning, all right? Therefore, for distance learning, it isn't limited only for the technology, right? You can use others, like offline materials to, like, you know, combine with your online platform, so that the students who lack of the access or have what I mentioned as digital divide, they can, you know, be able to, like, not that to be left behind much. Others, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any others?
I have one last question. The one about the primary and secondary, that was my question itself. Like, sometimes the young kids that I'm teaching right now, I'm helping the parents, 5 years old. You're right that they need individual teacher. Despite being online, they cannot help themselves as yet. They don't have the independence like the older kids. And also another backdrop is this of online is some people don't have access.
Yeah, that's a really concern. And just like what Ajahn Pornpimol said, I agree that maybe you can use some offline learning in combination with, well, if they have no internet at all, you can call them, you can ask to speak with a kid yourself, maybe, I don't know, can you? Maybe you can talk with your kids, I'm sorry, your students. You can talk with your students on the phone, like, okay, have you watched this clip? And what do you think about it? What is your favorite part? You know, talk with the young students on the phone if they don't have the internet. Would that be possible?
Right. Thank you so much, Ajahn. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I believe that everyone learned a lot, not only the theoretical foundation about it, but how to actually execute it. So I would say that this talk is really well fitted to teachers. And once again, we would like to thank our speakers, Assistant Professor Dr. Pornpimol Sukavatee, Ajahn Dr. Sujinat Jitwiriyanont, and Assistant Professor Dr. Mattanee Palungtepin. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so one other thing is that, you know, I see some question left behind here. So if you have any question, you can email us.
Right.
So we can, like, answer, we, like, you know, give you some response to that. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Jan. And thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you again on our next webinar session, and that is scheduled next week on the 8th of June, and we will have Professor Dr. Paul Kimatsuda, who will talk about post-COVID-19 writing instruction.
So stay tuned and thank you, everyone. Have a nice lunch then.
Have a nice lunch, everyone.
It's lunch in Thailand. I don't know where else, it's lunch or not, but here is lunch time. But thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
And for their active participation, I guess.
The
Yeah,
participation.
a lot of ideas. Yeah,
Yes,
and
very
very nice
nice.
session. Thank you.
Ah.
ค่ะ สวัสดี
So
ค่ะ
may I leave now, do we? Yes.